Back again, another reaction video. This one is all about the most disguised samples used in hip hop tracks. For me, these are my favourite types of samples. So not ones where it's just a straight up loop that's been used, but ones that have been disguised either by the original sample being chopped up and really completely replayed, or ones where the original sample has been either sped up, slowed down in some way, completely manipulated. So some of these, even when you hear the original track that's been sampled, it still isn't obvious unless you've actually been shown or you've played around with a sample yourself and actually seen exactly what's been done. So there's some really good samples in this one. So let's have a look. Yeah, this one, I'm sure a lot of you probably know what this one is because you've heard it before. But really, what Primo has done with this, the way he's actually chopped up this sample, he's taken little parts in between the main bits of it, chopped that up, rearranged it, and just flipped it into something absolutely amazing. So let's have a listen to it.
Clip. You wanna mess with this? Gangsta, one of the best yet. I'm nice like that.
Wow, this is probably the most disguised sample you'll ever hear. Mobb Deep track, and what Havoc has done with this is just amazing. Used this one piece, completely pitched it down like to a ridiculous level, replayed it so it sounds absolutely nothing like the original track. You hear that original track, you hear what's been done with it, you just wouldn't know unless you've actually been shown. If you have a look in one of my other videos, I've done a full breakdown of this and shown exactly by loading it up onto my MPC exactly what's been done with this. Absolutely brilliant.
I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers. The Mobb comes equipped for warfare. Beware.
This is a masterpiece from J Dilla. What he's done with this, you'd have to know and be shown that sample, because even just hearing that normally, unless you hear the way it's been reversed, you wouldn't really associate the original track and what he's done with it. Far Side Drop, have a look at the music video for Drop, because everything in that entire video has been filmed in reverse. So they've done things like walking backwards, doing various things backwards. They've then flipped the footage to reverse it, make it look like they're going forwards. So yeah, the whole concept of that music video, it's in reverse, why the sample then is in reverse as well. Really good track. This one is just all about how the sample's been chopped and rearranged, played in on the MPC. Pete Rock is just a genius at doing this type of sample flip, because you hear that original, just that long guitar section, and he's just chopped up various parts from within that, flipped it and come up with something completely unique. So yeah, really great track. Let's have a listen to it.
Sending this one out. Some more man. Yeah, Pete Rock. Half man, half amazing. Breaking hard, nigga.
Another one here showing why Primo is king of the sample chops. The way he's chopped this up, completely rearranged it, flipped it into something completely different. Absolutely brilliant. I've done a video recently where I've shown exactly what he's done with this sample and how he's put this track together. So if you've not already, give that one a check for some more detail on it.
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Big Snoop Dogg.
Another one where Havoc has totally gone to work with this piano sample, slowed it down like crazy, totally changed the way it sounds, flipped it into such a great hip-hop track. Again, in one of my other videos, one of my recent ones, I've shown on my MPC, broken it down and shown exactly what Havoc did with his sample, how he made this track. So give that one a check as well if you're interested.
There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. You could run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that...
RZA, what a producer. He's done some great tracks, obviously known for the Wu-Tang and then producing for most of the Wu-Tang members. This one used on an Old Dirty track, and he's just taken this one simple little piano bit and just replayed it. He's pitched it up and down and just made that into the whole track. So you probably know what it is, but I really like this one. So let's have a listen.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby,
This one, a lot more recent than some of the other tracks in this particular video. Fairly straightforward, this one. This is one of those taken from what are called library music records, which were records made for film, TV, radio productions, and they were meant for like incidental music. They've just become really popular for hip-hop producers, actually going through those and finding obscure tracks, little segments of them, and flipping that, making them into hip-hop. I've got quite a few of these of my own in my own collection. Some of them though, especially the ones from KPM, they're real collector's items, so if you want to get hold of them, you're looking at a lot of money to be spent.
Whether rapping or I'm rapping to a whore, might reach back and read after wrapping up his raw. Givenchy fitting like his gym clothes.
Dead end. Don't walk, keep out, red light.
Wow, this is just so 90s, this particular technique. What Large Professor's done with this, he's filtered it right down and just left it and turned this whole sample into a bass line. Now, if you listen carefully on the track that it's been sampled on, you can just very faintly pick out those vocals. So have a listen to it and you should be able to just faintly hear those vocals on it. Now, a lot of you will know this sample from Kwame the Rhythm. That was used earlier, but really for that one, it was just a straight up loop. I really love how this has been chopped up. There's an interesting story behind this, because if you try to recreate this yourself, it won't sound the same. If you watch Primo's So What's Up series, it goes into some detail about how he had a water damaged copy of this Bob James track. He made the beat and it had that sound to it where he'd taken the sample from the water damage part of the record, and his plan was he was going to go out and buy another copy of it. Guru actually really liked the grimy sound it gave to it. So yeah, it really works with this particular track. I just really like the way it's been chopped up and just completely changed into something new. It was also not really that a popular track. It was actually the B-side to The Suckers Need Bodyguards 12-inch. So have a listen.
The question remains, which MCs will reign? Which ones will gain? How many suckers will feel pain?
Ask yourself the same question.
Criminals in this world appear and break the laws
This one is just genius by the RZA. He's taken this nice theme from this cartoon and then made it into such a dark hip-hop track off the Wu's first album. Again with this, in one of my recent videos on my MPC, I've done a breakdown of this and I've shown exactly what he's done, how he's slowed this sample right down and flipped it into something hardcore. So have a listen.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Oh, Golden Axe, the amount of time I played on this in the 90s on my Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis as it was called in the USA. Absolutely loved this game. I just find it interesting the way this has been chopped up, taken from this classic 90s video game and then made into a great hip-hop track. So let's have a listen to this.
J-A-Y, I flow sick. Fuck all y'all haters, blow dick. I spit the game, those bricks.
Easy Mobb flip with this one. What I think is clever about this, he takes the absolute last part of this track where it's fading out, so it's so quiet on the fade out, and he's used that particular bit and just made this into such a great classic Biggie track. So let's have a listen to it. Another genius flip here by Primo. He's got this jazz track that you've just heard, the big long section there, and he's just taken this tiny little part of it part way through and just used that as the whole basis for this group home track. Really, really clever sampling there. So let's have a listen to this. So that's it. That's the end. Hope you're enjoying these reaction videos that I'm making. If you are, drop a comment, leave a like, let us know what you think. I hope you're finding some of the facts, some of the bits of information I'm telling you about the tracks and the samples. Hope you're finding those useful or interesting. And thanks for watching.